Beauty and the Beast is the live-action remake of the 1991 classic animated film. It's directed by Bill Condon and it stars Emma Watson, Dan Stevens, Luke Evans, Josh Gad, Ewan McGregor, Ian McKellen, Emma Thompson, Kevin Kline. It's a huge cast, huge and made of famous actors. And I really love the classic animated movie. It's one of my personal favorite Disney films. It has amazing songs, it has gorgeous animations, an interesting story for the time, especially for an animated movie. And this remake was completely unnecessary. And Disney's been doing a lot of them recently. We had Cinderella, we had Alice in Wonderland, we had Jungle Book last year. And while I do like some of those and dislike others, at least they all tried something different. They changed the story, improving it by adding and changing some aspects of it. But Beauty and the Beast is pretty much a perfect animated movie, and there was no real need to change anything. And in fact, they didn't change pretty much anything. This movie is almost shot for shot the original movie, except with a couple of new songs, some new subplots that feel like filler. And this movie is long, I mean, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes long with the credits. It's too much, it's way too much. The original was 90 minutes long. You get in, you get out, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's emotional. This one just goes on for way too long, and there are multiple problems with it, but it's not a bad movie, okay? Because in terms of actual production design, the sets, when there are actual sets used, they look pretty. The costumes are great, makeup, hairstyling, all those technical aspects, they're good. Cinematography is not all that great, could have been a lot better. It employs a lot of just normal camera angles, normal movements. There isn't really anything spectacular, there are no like long takes or interesting things, but it could have been a lot worse, honestly. Technically, it's a fine movie, but the actors are hit and miss in this movie. Emma Watson, she was not all that good here. She's just a pretty smile on a pretty face, and she just sleepwalks through the entire movie. And I'm not going to fault her that much because she pretty much has to talk to nobody. If you watch the behind the scenes, it's usually either a prop that she has to talk to, like, oh, it's a candelabra, I'm talking to a candelabra, or talking to the wardrobe. It was crazy, but the Beast is 100% CGI. But looking at the bloopers and the gag reels and whatever, there is no one standing in the shots. And it also makes sense because by watching the actual movie, there are very few sequences where Belle and the Beast are in the same shot, because otherwise it's usually shot reverse shot or someone is standing in the background. So Emma Watson was pretty much alone the entire time on screen, which is sad, very darn sad, because she can be a good actress like we saw in Perks of Being a Wallflower and in the Harry Potter movies, but this is not a good performance from her. It's not bad, but it's not even good. She's just kinda meh. And the same goes for Dan Stevens, because he's pretty much non-existent in this movie, he's just the voice. And while I do love him in movies like The Guest, where he was fantastic, absolutely phenomenal, I love that movie. And here, it could have been literally anyone else and I wouldn't have noticed. His singing is fine, Emma Watson's singing, not so good, it feels like they use auto-tune for her, which is sad, but the rest of the cast is actually pretty darn good. Kevin Kline actually is the only character, he plays the father of Belle by the way, is the only character that has actually been improved in this movie. Of all the changes that they made, this is the only one that actually felt relevant, because in the cartoon, it's just a crazy old man. In this one, he actually is a caring father, a little bit eccentric, sure, but he's not kooky, woohoo, I have the glasses and doing all those inventions. No, he's actually a little bit more grounded in reality, and I appreciated that. And that's the only really relevant change in the movie. Luke Evans and Josh Gad as Gaston and LeFou, they are pretty darn great. They actually had my favorite scenes in the movie, like the song Gaston was my favorite musical number, it was fun. Josh Gad was hilarious as LeFou, easily the best character in the movie. And also, Luke Evans was fine as Gaston. He has no arc in the movie. They could have improved that as well. It's just pretty normal in the beginning, then he just gets evil, and then he goes to the castle, and they change a couple of things during the final fight in the castle. No one gets hurt because Apparently the witch in the beginning has also made everyone forget about the existence of the castle, and there were some people inside the castle who actually were married to people outside the castle. So everyone forgot about them, so now some people are without husbands, without wives. Was it relevant? Was it important? Not really. Everything they added just felt kind of forced, honestly. And the songs, the new songs, they're fine, they're nothing memorable. They didn't include the song that is present in the extended edition of the animated movie, which was kind of disappointing, honestly. And the only other real issue that I have with the movie is the CGI. There is way too much of it. The faces of the objects look weird, creepy, and they lack a lot of emotion, something that could be done with a cartoon. By making an animated movie hand-drawn, you could make them more expressive, more cartoonish, because it's a cartoon. In this movie, maybe I would have preferred something a little bit more weird and cartoonish, I don't know, but how they handled it, it was a little bit creepy at first, and then they just lack a lot of features that were great about the cartoon. The same goes for the Beast. His face is all over the place, it's either very darn polished or weird looking. The Beast himself with the movements, it's inconsistent. For example, sometimes it's just very slow, and when he jumps he falls very heavily, and then in the final part of the movie he just starts jumping around the places like if he was Spider-Man. Like 20-30 meters jumps, he can make them effortlessly, and then a 5 meters jump, Belle goes, "No! It's too long! Don't jump!" And he jumps, it feels like, I have to make this very important jump, it's just 5 meters! I don't know, I also didn't really like the musical numbers. The songs are pretty much the same from the original except for a couple of lines. The singing wasn't impressive, the choreography was fine for the most part, but they all felt underwhelming, especially something like Be Our Guest, which is my personal favorite number from the cartoon. It's amazing there, it's very colorful, it's very pretty, and you can see everything clearly. Here it just was underwhelming. You're just going, colors popping on the screen, it's not very vibrant, it's not very energetic, and that's something that lacks in this movie. It lacks a lot of heart, a lot of passion. It feels like just Disney going, we have to do this, this and this. Bill Condon, just follow all these guidelines, don't put anything into this movie of yours, and I don't know. Overall, Beauty and the Beast, if you like the original cartoon, you're probably going to enjoy this one. It's not a bad movie, it's not a horrible disaster, it's not even a great movie. It's just... it just exists with no real reason to. They didn't change much, they didn't improve much. I don't know, but still guys, if you've seen Beauty and the Beast, do you prefer the live action movie or do you prefer the animated movie? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.